Hello and welcome to today's edition of Pegasus Test. On today's edition, we're covering the 2025 Luau team match. That's right, two-man match. Let's see how Matt and I did. All right, stage 3 was our first stage, and it was a tag team thing, so I went first. On my side of the bay, I had to get all the rifle targets, and on the other side of the bay, I had to get all the pistol targets. And then obviously it was reversed when Matt went through. Each side of the bay was a mirror image of the other. White targets were rifle targets. Obviously the blue steel was for pistol. On this one I tag it, and then I tag it again because I quickly noticed one of the shots was low. And then once I get that last rifle target, ditch that rifle and switch to my pistol. The rifle I used on this stage and for all stages was a Tavor, because why not? And then I switched over to my pistol, which was a Springfield Echelon. Again, why not? Good pistol. Right. And then as buddies, you could work together and call targets out for each other. This one was a little obscured, so I took the squatting position, ditched the pistol, tagged off, then Matt began his run. Now here on his side, he's got to go ahead and get all the rifle targets, and you had to shoot these targets. They were about 50 yards, I believe, offhand, very small, challenging targets. Then you had, of course, all these up-close white ones. And Matt's making short work of them here. Then clears that malfunction, ditches the rifle, and then switches over to his pistol. He's also using a Springfield Echelon and having equally good luck, although he would be frustrated later in the day, and we'll get into other stages with that. Or I should say we'll get into that in other stages. All right, so now we move on to stage 4, which was our second stage. And you started out one of you on each side of the car, and you had an array of targets. Both were basically the same as far as number of hits you had to go. And then once you would engage that array, you ditched your pistols. Matt and I made a deal that no matter who was done first, we'd wait for the other one to get done as a safety factor. I chose to go second on the rifle because shooting the Tavor with a bullpup in that confined space, the chance of breaking the 180 was a lot higher than it was with the other rifles. So we figured it was best for me to go second and just finish in place. Now Matt's got in there and he's engaging the target, and the tight confines are really proving to slow both of us down a whole lot more than we would have liked. Because you had to get 2 hits on each of the 5 paper targets, and then you had an array of 7 steel targets you had to hit. But Matt found a good brace position in there, and then once he got all that steel, he backed out, tagged out on me, and then I took his place. Now, spoiler alert, we're going to go ahead and par out, which was really weird feeling because I did not think that we were running that low in time, and neither did Matt. Comes out, ditches, taps. I grab the Tavor, get in there, get set. Had to load up the rifle. Probably should have done that outside, would have been a little bit easier, but you did have to charge it in the vehicle, so I just decided to load in place. And then just started engaging the paper targets. Wanted to make sure I got those done first before moving on to the steel. The window being half up tricked me up a little bit, but not too bad. I'm actually going to solve this problem tomorrow on the individual match.
Stand by.
All right, we've moved on to stage 5, which was our third stage, and it was a pistol stage. It was really simple. One shooter had to shoot the white, one had to shoot the blue. Reds were no shoots. So you saw our strategy there. We stepped onto the jiggulator there together to minimize movement and drew at the same time, again to minimize movement. I took the white, Matt took the blue, and we just started blasting. And near simultaneous reload here, if I hadn't grabbed the wrong pouch. And then we went right back to blasting after the reload. I ended up done slightly before Matt. So call out that I'm assisting when I saw that one blue plate up and tagged it. All right, and moving on to stage 6. And this was a rifle-only stage, and it was a tag team, but it was a tag team back and forth. So what you had to do here is shooter number 1 had to engage the 5 very small plates at the 100-meter line. Once that engagement was complete, you had to move to another shooting position. Then shooter 2 would engage the same 100-meter array while you were moving. Once shooter 2 completes the 100-meter array, then shooter 1 will engage the 2 and 300 arrays, and then shooter 2 is meanwhile moving to another position, and then they engage the 2 and 300 arrays. So I've just completed the 100. Matt here is doing his engagement on the 100. There were 4 different positions. I started out on the chair and moved over to the rooftop. Matt started on the tank trap and moved over to the gate. And we chose to do this because we thought the bullpup would play better with the chair and rooftop than the AR.
Engaging 300.
Yep.
All right, so I got the 200 clean. Now I'm on the 300. And missed that one, but hey, they seem to come right up after that.
You're up, Matt.
All right, now Matt's moving over to the 200 and 300 yard engagement. And he's going to struggle a little bit. I do my best to call shots for him, but at the 200 it's a little easier because it's closer and there's a dirt berm. At the 300 on this particular range, it's real difficult. It's in natural terrain. That natural terrain is overgrown. You don't get any splash, so it's really hard to give any corrections. So Matt's doing his best here, and unfortunately, though, we ended up leaving 2 of them.
Oh, damn it. All right.
Shooters, are you ready? Ready.
All right, on to stage 1 now. This is another tag team style. So shooter 1 had to engage all the rifle targets, which of course are the white paper. And then once he completed the rifle engagement, he would ditch his rifle up there in the left corner of the shooter's box and then tag out to the pistol shooter, who would come by the brown targets. And I'm going to be stayed up right now. The biggest problem we had on the stage was shot placement. Half our shots were in the C zone, and that just really dragged down our score. Otherwise, we had a pretty good time. If we'd had some better shot placement, I think we would have done a little bit better overall. And there goes the tag out. Now, when we did our stage walkthrough, I picked a pretty good spot where, as you can see here, I could engage most of the pistol targets just by pivoting, and so I was keeping my movements to a minimum. Just engaging as they appeared. My first movement is right here, so I can get that one brown target through that little sliver, then move up to expose the next target. Finally get this one as it's unmasked. Got one shot in, head to the reload, put 2 in them just to be safe, and put 2 in the center of this one.
Are you ready?
All right, the last stage of the day for us. Another team stage here where you're both shooting at roughly the same time. Starts out with 1 shooter engaging the rifles on the left side of the range, 2 paper and 6 steel. Matt chose to take the left side of the range because apparently the brass out of my Tavor was pelting him on stage 6, so I took the right so he wouldn't get pelted with brass. So he hit the 5 metal hanging targets there, were real small. Then he one shot on the silhouette, ditches it, tags me. I go to my pre-stage gun, load up, and make essentially the same engagement. And doing pretty good here on the little swinger plates. Have to make 1 shot there extra, and then boom, hit the big plate, ditch the rifle, tag, and then we dash forward. And here's where I made a mistake because the guns were unloaded, and I kind of forgot that, so... try to charge it and there's no mag. Get a mag into it finally and get some shots going. Now our strategy here was, with the target spread so far apart, I would take everything from the left, or excuse me, the right, work to the center, and start working on that double Texas Star. Matt would maneuver around and pick up any extra static plates, and once those were down, join me. We think our strategy worked pretty good. We hope you enjoyed this coverage of the Luau Team Match of 2025. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and tune in tomorrow for the individual match.